What's up, everyone? It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean. Let me just make sure I can actually see myself clearly. Yeah, on the big screen. We're about to get started a little bit early with the 7 a.m. strength and conditioning class. I know, I'm starting a whole day early. It's okay. Recommend that you gather for yourself a variety of weights because we're going to do a variety of different moves, and I'm really going to try to tire out your muscle groups by sticking with the same exercises for a couple different rounds. So we're going to have like an A move and we're going to have a B move, and you're going to do each of them at least 3, sometimes 4 times. I know. And then we're going to move on though. And I'm going to be honest that a lot of times the next set of exercises is also still going to sort of engage whatever we've just been doing. So we are definitely going to be getting some conditioning, building some strength, really building a lot of endurance in today's class. If you have not already joined me in some sort of a marching move, let's get that started. I'm going to switch my march to forward and backwards. You can keep marching in one place or side to side if that's the kind of space that you have. However you're moving, work to bring your whole heel down towards the floor. Use those abs a little to lift your knees. And if you want to move a little bit faster, you're welcome to move a little bit faster. If you want your heart rate to come up even higher, think towards bringing your arms up overhead, even if it's just one arm at a time. You're doing what you can with the energy and the body that you have today and the space that you have, and you're going to make it work. We got about 10 more seconds of this jogging, and then we'll just enjoy a jumping jack or a modified jumping jack. Find your space and get into it. I'm going to stick with that delightful extra modified jumping jack. Just getting one side at a time. A, because my upper back is real tired. I already worked out today. And B, because I live on the second floor of this apartment. But just some sort of reaching all the way up overhead and bringing your arms all the way down. We're sticking with this jack or some version of jacks. You can change it up for a full minute. And then we'll get some quick little stretches in before we get to our work. Today we're working 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. As always, if you need more rest time, you take it. If you want more work time, just work through that break until the next move starts. Keep breathing. Less than 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Just take a nice little lateral side to side step. Tap of each of those feet. I know those jumping jacks might have brought your heart rate up as well, so we don't want to completely stop moving. And then we can add in a nice little crossing of those arms, one over the other. Maybe even a kick forward with your heel, a little bend in one knee, straightening the other leg. Great work. Go ahead, plant your feet. Feet about hips width distance apart. Bend your knees. Take a deep inhale. Stretch all the way up towards the sky. Reach from your waist, not from the shoulders towards your ears. And on your exhale, relax those arms back down towards the floor. Turn your hands, palms forward. Inhale, arms up. You can bend your knees if you want or need to. Exhale, arms down by your side. As you're bringing those arms up, think about bringing them back, engaging your shoulder blades, your scapula. Let's go ahead and do one more. Inhale those arms up. Keep them there. This time, right arm comes down to your side. Take a big stretch, reaching over to the right side, creating as much of a moon shape, even shifting your hips over to the left. Try to keep your shoulder or shoulder blade against an imaginary wall behind you. So right shoulder might come a little forward, left shoulder might come a little bit back. Make sure you're still breathing, and then inhale, lift yourself up. Let's get the other side. So don't come down so deep that you feel like you're holding your breath to be here. Maybe you're barely reaching over to the side, or maybe you can get a lot of half moon shape, but you need to keep breathing there. Where can you stay in this stretch as opposed to stretching and coming out and stretching and coming out? You're here for another big inhale, exhale. And on your next inhale, lift yourself up. Awesome. Go ahead, slowly relax your arms down by your side, stretch your fingers down to the floor, roll your shoulders down and back. Quick moment decompressing your shoulders. Equally ground through all of your feet and think about like externally rotating from your thighs a little bit. So it's going to bring your pelvis under, a little squeeze of your glutes, your legs engage, but you're not jamming your kneecaps back, but your quads are engaged and you're stretching your fingers to the floor. Awesome. Shake it out. All right. Grab a quick sip of water or whatever you're drinking or a little bit of both. I'm going to take a bit of both. Okay. Let's start off with biceps, triceps. Biceps, we're going to continue doing both arms at one time, but for triceps, at some point, we're going to get single arm tricep. You have many options of how you can do your single arm tricep, whether it means that you're taking a hinge and getting just one arm, focusing on just one arm at a time, or if you want that arm up overhead, a little bit more challenging. Man, it's just my back is so sore. All right, we're starting with biceps. 45 seconds of work. Remember, we're getting 4 rounds in, but we're going to change the move up. I encourage you to start with the weight that feels at least medium. Don't pick your lightest weight. If you need to switch to that lighter weight, I hope it's there and you can switch to it. But let's start off with the challenge. Don't save your energy for the end. Just take extra breaks, extra breaths when you need them. All right. First rounds of biceps in 3, 2, 1. You're going to go for a regular bicep curl to begin. Elbows are close by the side. You can have a slight bend in your knees, or maybe you're just like engaging through the lower half like we just talked about. You're going the tempo that you want to go. You know, your weights are really going to dictate what your tempo is right now. And remember, anyone can just go like this. I can go like this without engaging the bicep, even with no weights in my hand, though the imaginary pressure of something pushing down on the hand, something that is resisting on the way up so that your biceps actually engage, and then slow and controlled, still active on the way down. All right, we got 3 seconds left here. And then turn your hand thumbs in. Let's find a nice little hinge, bending your knees, glutes back, shoulders roll down and back. Draw your low belly in. There can be a little bit of rounding to your back. It's okay. Or a little arch to your back, as opposed to rounding. Cool. Elbows draw back, and let's find the tricep extensions. Just straightening your arms, keeping your shoulder blades squeezed together, back engaged, belly pulled in nice and tight. Trying not to let your rib cage flare out also. So there's a lot of engaging and bracing on the front side of the body. And your eye gaze is like at a diagonal. So we're not looking down towards the floor with chin tucked towards the chest. And you're not looking forward to bring wrinkles into your neck. Your eye gaze is also kind of at like a 45 degrees towards something in front of you. We got about 8 seconds left. How you doing with your weight? 3, 2, 1. Relax your arms down, stand yourself up. We got individual triceps next. And if your weight has been too easy, I want you to try something harder. And if your weight's been really hard, then try something easier. Okay, I'm going to go for this overhead tricep extension. If that does not work for you, just go for single arm as we were just doing. And I like to keep one hand right here at my chest. For me, it helps to stay in control, to stay activated. You're trying to keep your bicep close by your ear. And if you really feel like you're struggling with balance, come on down to the floor and do the same move from your knees or from a modified lunge. I might like the other leg forward. Yeah. Because when you're lower towards the floor and you've lowered your center of gravity, this can be a little bit more stable than if you're standing all the way up. You're getting as deep into this range of motion as you can. Lower it down. Let's come back to our biceps. Next up, I was going to suggest a nice hammer curl. Again, you can do any kind of bicep work that you want. Shoulders down and back, chest lifted. No locking your knees. And I'm just going to send my arms up and down like they are in a line or like I'm banging a hammer. I know you can hear my breath exhaling on the most challenging part. So just make sure, again, like before, we talked about using your breath. A lot of time when things get hard, both with strength and with stretching, we tend to hold our breath, and that's so unsustainable. And then we're not really uh, getting deep into the muscle as much as we could, because our bodies and our brains are in that fight and flight mode. When you breathe in, that's when your body starts to learn to really make some adaptations. These are things I think. I see it in yoga. Okay, next up we got that other arm tricep extension. And remember, you can still switch it up. You do not have to do this overhead tricep extension. I wish I had some bands around for a banded tricep extension. Oh my gosh, this arm is tight and I do not have the same range of motion. And I'm just going to be smart for myself. This is a great example. I'm just moving to a lower weight so I can keep that good form, keep more of that range of motion. And I'm not surprised because this side of my body is very tight and tired. Woo! So remember, every day is different. Everyone is different. We're all just here doing what we can with the bodies we have today. You could have been on the floor right now with your knees bent, arm down, coming back into those biceps. In fact, you could have been doing absolutely nothing right now. You chose to get up and do something for yourself. Let's get some W curls. Shoulders down and back, elbows in, nice and wide to the side, like a W for winning. And then same thing, really work to find that extra squeeze on the way up. Engage your biceps. And this is where, it doesn't even matter what you're working with. If you truly had zero weights at home, but you made that isometric contraction in your arms, like the same way when you're pushing against the wall, two forces pushing against each other, and you can really get your muscles to engage there. You can imagine still finding that super challenge and making the work. You can make any weights or no weights just seem harder by trying. Great, arms down. We got last 2 rounds. Let's come on back to those tricep extensions. You can do some of the options we did before, maybe both hands up overhead, maybe a nice straight arm tricep extension. That's what I'm going to go for. So find the length in your spine. Keep your head in line with the rest of your body. No wrinkles in your neck. No tucking chin towards chest. And exhale as those arms go up. You want an extra challenge? Pulse it for a breath or 2 or as many as you want. Remember, with challenge comes change. So you have to push yourself to do the harder thing. And over time, that harder thing is going to get easier. But if you don't try it, it's not going to get easier. But you don't have to do it the whole time. Remember, it's not all or nothing. It's what can you do with this breath? And then that breath is over. Take a break and you get to move to a whole new breath. Oh, we got one last move. We're coming back to biceps. Ooh, switch the weight up. And we're going to hold at a 45-degree angle. 45-degree angle, hands palms in line with your shoulders to start, and then rotate out. Little rotator cuff action, still working the biceps. Elbows still stay close by the side. And as those arms go out, think about really keeping your core in tight. So again, I'm always talking about not letting our rib cage flare out each time. That's something that we're thinking about right now. So the rotation is really coming from the shoulders, from the rotator. Ooh. Got my first little drippy drip of sweat coming down my back. I did turn off the air conditioning for you in this class. You're welcome. Oh, relax your arms down. Grab another sip of water. We made it through round 1. We made it through round 1. Okay. We're going to continue standing, and I imagine you might be able to use 2 different weights for the next two exercises. We're going for a side body crunch. You might be able to use a really heavy weight as we get this side body crunch. I like how enthusiastically I walked over to that much heavier weight. Okay, we're getting this side body crunch. We're going to stick with the same side for the first 4 rounds, and then we'll move on to the other side. Great. All right, we're mixing that up with a single arm side lat raise, but you probably don't want to lift the same weight that you're doing for your side crunch. Find a place, plant your feet, shoulders down and back, belly pulled in. We start in 3, 2, here we go. So just like we were talking about in the warm-up while we were stretching, you can push your hips a little to the left and then pull yourself in. Keep that lower belly pulled in nice and tight. Maybe you even bring your legs together and squeeze them like a book so that posterior chain is engaged and stabilizing you as you find this side body crunch. You can even have your arm by your side of your head. But just like we talked about before, try not to let that chest collapse forward towards the floor. Awesome. I'm going to put down that heavier weight. So the idea is also that if you were like working from the side, you're like a pane of glass. Pick up whatever weight you would like to use for your side lat raise, shoulders down and back, belly in. Here we go. Up and out to the side to shoulders height. If it doesn't feel good for you to bring it all the way out to the side, maybe you bring it a little bit forward in a Y. Maybe you get a little bit of both. You can even turn your thumb up. Oh, I like that. Bringing my thumb up at a Y. Shoulders down and back. Make sure you're not locking out your knees. Keeping your core pulled in. So much length through the crown of your head. Awesome. We're coming back into that side body crunch. Same side. Grab your heavier weight if you're using that heavier weight. And remember, coming down nice and in one line. Shoulders stay down and back. You can almost even think about that left shoulder might need to rotate back a little bit from your natural form because I bet that it is inclined to come a little bit forward. You can always check yourself out in a mirror, walk towards a mirror, take a quick video of yourself. Even if you got a little bit of a lean here today, it's just something to be aware of and think about. It helps to really round through all of your feet, maybe a little bit more weight in your heels though, and engage your glutes. So squeeze your glutes, drive your hips a little bit forward. That way we're already warming up our glutes for our next rounds coming up. Ooh, side body. All right, last time with this side lat raise or a little Y raise with your thumb up, your choice on this side. 3, 2, 1, here we go. So still using your breath, exhaling on the more challenging part, still finding that bracing of your core. We're working that upper back, shoulder blade area. What you doing, Fred? You're finally hanging on your swing for the first time ever. Perfect timing while I'm recording this video. I think I'll get the birds some delightful fruit before our next set starts. I'm sure you won't mind. Ooh, this 45 seconds felt like an eternity, right? Okay, we're moving on to the other side. Moving on to the other side, whole new side. So might not look, feel, or be as capable as the first side, but let's get that side body crunch. Be mindful, we're just starting here. Here we go. Maybe those feet came together again and If you need to take an extra second to engage your posterior chain, that's also what those 15 seconds between each exercise are for. To put your weight down and to set yourself up for success. If you need an extra moment or two to get into the exercise so that you're doing so with good form, as in not letting your glutes stick all the way back, you are stacking your head, oh my gosh, over your heart, over your hips, over your heels. My upper left side is tired. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Let's get that left side raised. Ready, friends. Ready, friends. We're going to do that for now. Okay. Shoulders down and back, belly in, and begin. Ooh, this side is so tight. I'm going to switch to an even lighter weight. Sometimes it really is also just about finding the range of motion. When I was taking a class today, the teacher used the phrase, motion is lotion. Yes, that is what she said. And it's true, movement is medicine. Moving around a little bit, especially when you don't feel good, can be so hard. I know if you're not feeling your best, whether it's physically or mentally, when there's a lot of stress going on, creating this time for yourself can be a challenge. Maybe your body literally hurts from stress, but I can guarantee you, take a break, that if you just get up and move a little bit, if you change your breath, it can change your mental channel. Anything can happen, Shoulders down and back, belly in. I was talking with some friends before a class today about how today is my 61st day of taking yoga in a row. I might have missed a class or two because really bad traffic or a holiday and the studio was closed. But that means I just did a double on a different day and I made it all the way to day 61. And I'm so proud of myself, but I also feel like I have so much more work to go. And someone was like, well, are you going to stop? And I was like, what? No, of course I'm not going to stop. I was like, you never know what's behind the next door. And it's not even the next door, like the potential for change in your next breath. Anything can happen. All right, switch to your weight for that side lat raise. Last time through this move, last move of this circuit, shoulders down and back, belly in. Here we go. Right now. Basically what I'm saying is you need to create space for all these wonderful opportunities in your life. When you take the time to invest in yourself and feel your best self and you feel more confident and that you're doing better, other people around you are also going to be so inspired to step up, to do their best. So it's really not, just improving yourself and your attitude impacts everyone around you. So keep up this amazing work. I hope you're so proud of yourself. Woo! 2 circuits down. All right. Grab another sip of water. We're going to get down on the floor next. Our moves on the floor, I think. Wait, hold on. I think I'm getting the birds some grace. I know you don't mind because we're good pet people. Okay, yes, we are getting down on the floor, but we're not going to start with glute bridges just yet. You need to bring one weight, and we're going to tuck that weight behind the back of our legs for some glute kickbacks and some fire hydrants. I know, and we're going to stick with one side for all 4 rounds. I know. Okay, so grab that weight. It doesn't have to be super heavy. You can bring a variety. Oh, I forgot how sore my glutes are. I'm still going to challenge myself because my glutes are sore from hard work. Okay, I'm starting with the right leg. I like how I said I was challenging myself and then put the lighter weight in. We're starting with what I like to think is the slightly easier move. And if you don't have a weight, if you just like literally put a sock or anything behind your leg and you find this engagement of squeezing and holding it there, it's going to engage your hamstring, your glute, everything a little bit more. So whether you want to have a weight there or just like a sock, which is very light, that is your choice. Hands, palms underneath of your chest. We're going to find just this kick up and then bringing that knee almost to touching the floor. If you need to actually bring it down towards the floor, you do. You can have your toe pointed or you can have your foot flexed. It's just going to change a little bit of how much of the muscles are engaged. Anyway, we wasted a lot of time chatting. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's begin. Right side is where I'm starting. You can start on the left though. We're just going to stick with it in 3, 2, 1. So a nice flat back here. If being on your hands, palms, as so is uncomfortable for you, you can do the same exercise from your forearms. I want you to find that full range of motion. So exhale, maybe you even hold at the top, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze for the full exhale. Inhale, bring your leg back down. Make sure you're really pressing into your hands, palms. No neck earrings. Keep that belly pulled in nice and tight. We got 3 seconds left. 2, 1. Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm definitely going to switch to a slightly lighter weight. As next up, we have fire hydrants. So we're going to still find that squeeze of something behind the leg and lift it up to the side. Awesome. Begin. Try to keep your chest square to the floor. There's a lot of tendencies while you're doing this one for everything to rotate out. Chest square towards the floor. That knee is just extending out and in. We're getting the glute med for some good work. We're getting the clamshell. If you're really struggling here with the clamshell on your hands, palms, and tabletop, I'm just going to turn to the side away from you, pardon me, but you can also get this move if you need to lay down on the floor because your hands are really not working, and just clamshell your legs, either lifting them or slightly different is rotating that leg out. So you got 2 options. All right, we're coming back to our glute bridge chest press. I'm sorry, to our glute kickback. Begin, same leg, last time on this side. And then you can either stick with me with the fire hydrants or those clamshells. I'm not going to lie, I did kind of really like the way that clamshell felt. I'm going to keep that in mind for the Tabata HIIT class tomorrow. I'm going to make a note. We got 10 seconds left. So if you want more glute work, you come join me tomorrow, or actually, I guess for you, that will be today, this afternoon, for the Tabata HIIT class. 15 seconds of rest. Oh, my pen's all the way over there. Fire hydrant, same leg. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Ooh. Really think about like pressing down through that left knee on the floor. I know while we were standing a minute ago, we intentionally shifted our hips while we were getting our side body crunch. But here, try not to shift the hips, try not to really rotate the upper body too much. 10 seconds left. You got this. What can you do today? How many can you get in? For 3, 2, 1. Awesome. We're going to switch the weight to the opposite leg. We're starting with our glute kickbacks in 8 seconds. Can you use your heavier weight? Did you ever use that heavier weight in your last round? Go for it. Make a note right here. Side lying clamshells with weight like a fire hydrant. Come into a class near you. More than halfway through this one. Remember, if you're not feeling that glute yet, really think about using some little extra time under tension here at the top, that full exhale, while also still finding that squeeze of your calf, of your heel, oh my gosh, towards your glute. And now we have that fire hydrant. I'm going to carefully switch to a slightly lighter weight. We start in 3, 2, 1, begin. How is the side treating ya? Oh, fire hydrant. Oh, I was like, things are feeling real easy on this side. And that's when I realized I was not doing the correct exercise anymore. Ugh. Tell them how you really feel, Jessica. We're more than halfway through. We just got one more time on each side for each of these moves. And then we're going to flip over onto our glutes. Make sure you're not sinking into your shoulders. I know I was starting to. 3, 2, oh, awesome. Last time for these glute kickbacks. 3, 2, 1. Find that squeeze. Option sticking with that exhale, slowly lowering down. We're still trying to not let your hips shift too much left to right while this whole party is happening. Ooh, just don't sink into your shoulders. My gosh, I would love to hope that we somehow run out of time before the plank rounds that I planned. Let's just see what happens. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. We've got the side leg raises one more time. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that our next round has us with our backs on the floor. I don't know about you guys, but mine is starting to get tired. Remember, if you need to take an extra second, take an extra breath. Sometimes that's all you need to finish strong. We've got about 10 seconds left to go here. So if you did take that extra break, can you join us, even if you have to take that weight out from behind the knee? For 3, 2, 1. You are amazing. Yay. Grab a quick sip of water. I think we will skip that plank round today, but we're going to get this next round still focusing on the glutes and a little bit of the lats. My glutes are already shaking. All right, this circuit is a little bit shorter, so that's exciting. We're only going to go for 5 rounds instead of 8 because I recognize that your glutes might already be a little bit tired. We're going to add in a chest press, which we have not done today. Option for a chest press fly even. Yeah, that's going to come up in round 2. And otherwise, we're going to get a nice lat pullover. So either 2 weights that you'll use for the lat pullover might not even be the same weights that you use for your chest press fly. So have some varieties nearby. Go ahead, turn over onto your glutes. For round one, we need room to the side. For round two, we're going to need a little bit more room up overhead. All right, lots of glute bridges coming your way once we finish off the challenge for today. Pick which weights you would like to use for just your chest press. We're only going to find a press up as our hips drive up. The weights are going to come up as our hips come down. Triceps might even touch towards the floor and then press back up towards the sky as you lift your glutes. If you're starting, okay, let's just get started actually. Low back down on the floor. So take a moment, find your neutral spine. So we're not really rounding, arching the back or tucking the pelvis. Everything is nice and long. You start in 3, 2, here we go. So exhale, drive your hips up, arms go up. Inhale, everything comes down. If you don't feel this activating your glutes, take a gentle little turn out of your toes. Maybe your toes are now at 11 and 1 o'clock instead of 12, and you'll probably feel those glutes a little bit more. Ooh, fun idea. If you have a yoga block at home, we're going to bring a yoga block to the party moving forward with these glute bridges. I will add it in the description in case you're not watching along live. Great. If you don't have a yoga block, you can always just get a nice rolled up towel, but we're going to place that block between our legs, between the thighs for a little adduction. Now walk your heels out a little bit further. We're going to press ourselves up. We're getting our hamstrings while we're high. Arms come all the way up overhead in a lat pullover. Arms come back up. Glutes can go down. So arms stay up the whole time. Feet are just a little further away. Heels dig into the floor. Oh, really have a lot of space. As opposed to feet flat on the floor. And then glutes come down, hips come up, arms come overhead. A little challenge to just keep those weights right above your chest the whole time. I went for my heavy weight still in this lat pullover. If you're feeling like you need a little more control, think about holding those weights together with each other. All right, back to our fly action. Our press fly. So walk your feet in, original glute bridge. Toes might be gently turned out. Find your neutral spine. Press your arms up. From here, open arms, elbows wide. Bring it back in and then down. So we're finding our press. We're adding in a fly. We got that squeeze of our inner thighs in towards each other. Just activating as many muscle groups as possible. I tell you what, my glutes are tired. On this version of the glute bridge, I have my whole foot down on the floor. This brings us to halfway through our glute bridges for today. Awesome. Go ahead and walk those heels out further away. We're going to find our lat pullover again. The further your heels are out, the more those hamstrings are going to activate. Heels again, toes are lifted. Send your arms up to the sky to begin with. And then exhale, lift your hips. Inhale. You can still exhale. I do like the inhale of bringing arms up overhead for that lat pullover. Remember, you can hold the heads of your dumbbells together for a little bit more control. Maybe you're just holding one dumbbell here because that's what your possibly tired lats need. How quietly can you actually tap the heads of your weight to the floor behind you? Find that full range of motion. Slow down as much as you need to, but you're worth it. This is our last time doing our glute bridge, hamstring, lat pullover. Go ahead, walk those legs in. Let's find one more time of just the chest press, regular glute bridge. Find your neutral spine, draw your core in, get ready, press into your feet, exhale up, inhale down. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those glutes, squeeze your inner thighs. Oh, we're going to get some good stretches into the glutes, into the hips when we're done here. Oh, we did it. Go ahead, relax your low back to the mat, put your weights down, take your towel or your block out from between your legs, open your feet nice and wide, like mat's width distance apart. Just take a gentle windshield wipe of your legs, right and left, as fast or as slow as you want to. Let's take a little bit of a pause. So with your feet still really wide, drop your knees down to one side. The idea of even pressing the back leg of your arrow, trying to press that inner thigh knee a little closer towards the mat. Big stretch towards the exterior of the right hip and glute. If your knees are pointing to the left, that is. Otherwise, it's a big stretch to your left glute and hip. Whichever one, we're about to find the other. So soles of the feet back down to the floor, low back presses into the mat, and then exhale, drop your knees to the opposite side. Still think about stretching your knee down towards the bottom of the mat and then down into the mat as well. Really enjoy that stretch. Relax your upper back on the mat. Keep the back of your head on the mat. One more big breath. And then send your knees back up towards the ceiling. You can walk your feet in towards each other, draw knees in towards your chest, and give yourself some circles of your low back. Ooh. Go ahead, change the direction of those low back circles, and let's rock ourselves up to a seated position, or just come into a seated position any way that you want to. Flip on over into your tabletop. Give yourself a couple cat-cows here. Really rounding and flexing your spine. We're going to take a quick little pigeon, stretch into your glutes, stretch into your hips. Actually, instead of pigeon, let's do something a little bit easier. So from your neutral tabletop, go ahead, extend your left leg nice and long. Press the ball of the left foot to the floor, push into your hands palms. Keep that left hip turned down towards the mat, and then inhale your left leg up and over to the right side. Maybe you still have the ball of the foot to the floor. Maybe you roll towards the heel, and then turn, twist, look over your right shoulder. Find that stretch of your hips towards the left. Your right shoulder might even come closer towards your right hip. And then inhale yourself back to center. Lift that right leg up. Bring it in next to your left. Find a little cat. Find a little cow. Back to your neutral tabletop. Stretch your right leg out nice and long. Press the ball of the right foot into the floor. Take a moment. Engage your glute right here. And then inhale your right leg up and over. You can keep the ball of the right foot on the floor as you start to look over your left shoulder. Maybe even roll the right heel down towards the mat. Just an extra little shifty shift of the right hips to the right side. Left shoulder might come closer to left hip. Inhale yourself back through to center. Tabletop. Tuck your toes under. Send your hips up towards the sky. Oh, take a pedal through your heels. In a little down dog, you can bend your knees as much as you need to. Take a moment, shake your head. Yes, I'm so proud of myself for coming. Nope, no regrets. Go ahead, walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. When you get there, inhale, find a half lift, and then exhale, bend your knees so your belly touches your thighs, and then relax your head down towards the floor in the forward fold. Make your belly and your thighs touch each other so that there's some support for your low back. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. So basically you're engaging your lats again, which we worked so many times today. And you're just letting gravity find that stretch and decompression in your spine. Maybe you even grab hold of your opposite elbow and just rock a little left and right. Bending one knee and then the other is also going to create some movement in your hips, which is going to feel so good. Hips and glutes. Relax, release your hands down to the floor. Inhale into a half lift again. Find your flat back. Exhale down to your forward fold. Generously bend your knees, weight in your heels as you slowly roll yourself up. One vertebrae at a time. Head over heart, over hips. Roll your shoulders down and back and stretch your fingers down towards the floor. That quick decompression of your shoulders. Let's take 2 breaths together. Inhale in through your nose. Exhale out through your nose or mouth. One more big breath. Squeeze your glutes, hips comes forward. Inhale in through your nose. Exhale out through your nose or mouth. Awesome. I hope you're feeling so good about yourself. I encourage you to take a little bit more time if you have it to get some great stretches in. Maybe your hands, palms come to your desk today and you walk your glutes back. You bend your knees. You find some big stretches. Bringing your head below your heart is also so great for creating some relaxation. Otherwise, we'll see you later this week, maybe even later today for a Tabata hip class. Till then.